THT. They call me one-trickponey46DD, or at least that's my username on one of these viral apps. See, I try to be one of these trendsetters, but I don't got as many followers as most people. But I try to come up with some original hopes that no one would steal it, but I could not think of anything good, so I went ahead and went to my local thrift shop looking for some dance videos, but happened to stumble upon something hardbound leather with golden pages with a dark bookmark. So I pick it up and skim through it. When flipping through the pages, I hear a sort of whisper of my name, Haley Payne. I look around and just a customer on the next aisle. As I grab the book tight, not letting it out of my hands, only to check out, of course. As she gets out of the store with the video and the book in hand, she gets in her small beat-up blue car that gets decent gas mileage. I get home and read a little bit. I fall asleep and wake up the next day, and wake up to find the book on a chapter, but it's on some strange text. I might have to figure it out and decipher it later. I'm late for work. I'm a waitress at the Scoundrel's Inn, where people cuss like sailors. She's used to them calling her names, but she would laugh along with them just to get some more tips in the end of the night. It was worth it. Through the end of my shift, I would pull the book out and go to the bathroom and flip through the pages, looking at some strange text. There was some description of sorts. It's hard to describe. A skinny armed with razor-sharp nails and some sort of grotesque to describe. I almost wanted to vomit after looking at it for too long. I quickly closed the book and get back to work to tell a few people, "Are you alright? You don't look well. You look pale there." "Yes, I'm fine." I quickly get a glass of water and slam it down. Then I start to make drinks again. I ask the patron, "Hey, you wanted 2 shots of whiskey, 2 mix, and a shot of Jose Cuervo?" "Got it." Divide their drinks up in line and start to pour them in their respective glasses. But although they were calling my name, "Haley, what are you doing?" I'm sitting there just pouring the drink straight on the ground, and then all of a sudden I snap back into what's going on. I look at my hand, and it's got a really bad gash in it. I wonder how it got there. So I quickly go to the first aid and get a bandage of sorts, and then go to the bartenders told me I should go ahead and head out and go check it at the hospital. So I agree. They're kind enough to give me the tips in the jar, which really made me so happy. So I went ahead and went to this little clinic that's not too far. There's only like a 20-minute ride, so I get over there and it's not long. I wait, and surprisingly, I get to see the doctor, and he's like, "Well, we got to stitch that up all right." So 30 minutes later, I'm all good to go and just pay a small fee, and I'm on my way. I start to head back home, and the ride does not take long. I get home and get in my room. First thing I do is I get to that book. I open it up and I glance through the text, and yet again I hear sorts of whisper of my name around the room. Haley Payne. And knowing that I'm the only one in there, it makes me even more worse. It puts me on high alert, and I start trying to draw the symbols and letters that was in the book on the mirror with my red lipstick, and it starts to glow red and green, and then all of a sudden the mirror shatters. She runs out to the bar, and there are a few people looking at her funny. "Did you not hear that?" They say no, and she goes back in the bathroom, and the mirror is not shattered at all. What's going on here? Something very strange, and I don't like it. She cannot get the book off her mind, so she leaves work and gets in her car and starts heading home. She thought so. She later wakes up in front of her home cemetery. What on earth I'm doing here in the cemetery? At least, why am I covered in dirt? And looks up and realizes she's been digging her own grave, and she notices a shadow of sorts blocking the moonlight of where she is. She hears a whistling of sorts, and she begins to feel dirt pour on top of her. And she says, "Hey, there's someone down here," and more dirt keeps coming in. She doesn't know what to do. She grabs the books and begins flipping through it and begins drawing the symbols in the dirt. One by one, the change of the dirt begins to change the sand type, the clay. It starts to harden, and she lifts herself up and then heads up out, and she's able to see blood-sucking, brain-eating zombies waiting to eat her undead brain. And more brains must eat more brains. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe.